Hey guys, it's Zenbloke. I thought I'd switch things up a bit tonight with this video. What I'd like to talk about is the oncoming possibilities of a second generation of virtual reality. Now, we've all seen things like the Oculus Rift and this particular headset and other things like it floating around. Now, I personally have had experience with VR. I played some VR way long ago, back in the 90s. For any of you that know Edinburgh, where I live, there's a really great little comic shop called Deadhead Comics down Candlemaker Row. Brilliant place. Recommend you spend your money there. Great resource for comics, great resource for comic chat. Anyway, in one of the back rooms, there used to be a guy who had a couple of computers set up with like Doom and such, and you could go there and, you know, spend a little bit of money, have a bit of a play, and it was grand. Then after a wee while, he actually got some money together. He must have got like a bank loan or something, I never really asked, but he then actually set up a proper place down Broughton Road, fairly near the bottom of it, just before the roundabout. And he called the place Reality X. Now, within this Reality X, there were about 6 PCs with monitors, obviously, and there was 2 virtual reality units in the classic ring configuration thingy. So what you had this big ring that was around you like that, and you had the virtual reality helmet actually on your head. Now, considering this was the original virtual reality helmets from back in that period, I mean, we're talking like Lawnmower Man almost, except without the special touchy-feely suit thing. What you basically had was you had 2 TVs in front of your eyes here, with little focusing rings, so you could actually focus the lenses in front of the TVs so that they were actually looking right for your eyes. So each of these little TVs were quite heavy. On each ear you had a really high powered headphone speaker, and these headphones were quite heavy because they were quite powerful, and they were for blocking out all the external noise. On the back of my head there was a whacking great processor, literally whacking great processor, stuck it like that. It was massive. And it weighed quite a lot. Now, it didn't matter when you were playing something like, say, Doom. That went really well. I could play Doom, and you had your hand control, and you had the 3 keys on it that were right in front of your 3 main fingers. You used your thumb to grip it, obviously. And you had your, you had to use, you had your door open, you had to fire, things like that. Jump, use, fire. Anyway, it worked well for Doom. But when it came to when Quake first came out, the original Quake, and for those of you of a certain age, you know how good Quake was back in the day. It was amazing. It was a leap forward. Anyway, so I went to do the thing that you usually do, which was you tipped your thing forward and you walked. If you tipped your head forward as well, you ran. Now, the reverse was true. You tipped that back, you walked back. You tipped your head back, you ran back. I was getting shot to shit. So I thought, right, I'm getting out of here. And I did that, and I did that. And next thing I knew, I was looking at the ceiling. I didn't know at this point, remember, this was the first proper game to do all this kind of stuff, that you could look around in your actual environment. So next thing I know, I'm looking at the ceiling. And because I've looked at the ceiling, and I'm getting shot to shit, I've got in slightly dead panic mode. And I can't get my head up because I've gone too far back and the processor's pulling my head down. My game lasted all of about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes before I just went, well, that was a complete disaster. So I do always have to wonder how good virtual reality will be when indeed we ever do get it. And I also have to wonder how expensive it will be and how usable it really will be. I mean, you know, will I have to be moving around like I do with my PlayStation Move, or like you have to do with Kinect or a Wii? There's a lot of unanswered questions. I mean, how much movement do you have to have? How little should you move? Are you going to need a sensing ring around you? You know, are you going to have to need some form of contact through your hands? I mean, is it all just going to be done with your pads? Is it just going to stay on the Microsoft system, like I've seen all the demos for the Oculus Rift, or will Sony create their own one, or is that just that patent I showed you from my iPad? Is that just something they've just knocked up so that nobody else can come along and go, well, we've developed something for PlayStation and we've got the patent? Because Sony's got a bit of a history of that. Like, we've developed this patent, we're not using it, but we've developed it so nobody else can. But I suppose the biggest question with VR in this new generation of systems and gaming is, do we really care? I mean, most of us now, hopefully, have managed to have some form or another of high-def television. I mean, mine's not exactly pretty. I mean, it's like 6 years old, it's second-hand for a friend, it does 1080p, but I've got it and I'm happy with it. It only has 2 HDMI ports, which means I'm having to get an HDMI splitter for my PS3 and my PS4 because my Virgin TiVo box runs the other HDMI. And I did get a splitter, but it's crap. Anyway, that's beside the point. Surely, another device plugged into either the TV or into the system, is going to draw more power from the system. It's going to put stress on the operating system and on the guts of the machine. Not to mention the price of the bloody thing. I mean, a PS4 itself costs what, $350? Pads cost $60. The PlayStation camera costs what? About 50 quid, 60 quid, depending where you get it, and how you get it. This is getting to be kind of expensive, and I have to wonder if anybody is really going to bother their arse. Now, in a perfect world, we all us gamers go, ooh, wouldn't it be lovely someday to have a holodeck and be completely immersed in the game and yada yada yada. And that is true, that would be lovely. But let's face it, if you're a holodeck, for the average home, for the average person, where the hell would you put it? Which is where VR comes in, because VR is not like basically it's a holodecking around your head. But I still think, even with something as miraculous as the Oculus Rift, or whatever it is Sony might come up with, or even Microsoft might come up with, hell, even Nintendo. I mean, remember Nintendo tried the Virtual Boy? It was a mistake, but they tried. I think it's too soon, it'll be too expensive, and I don't know if any developers can really make use of such a thing for it to be worth the initial outlay for the machine. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. You can actually use it, because pretty much in all the videos I've done so far since starting this channel, I've had maybe 2 or 3 comments. So don't be afraid to comment. I'd love to have your feedback, especially for future videos that I could do or other videos that I have done. Please feel free to comment on my stuff. I'd love to have your feedback. Obviously, I'd rather not hear all that kind of crap. I don't need that. But if you want to give me some constructive criticism or tell me places you'd like me to take this channel, feel free. Although do please bear in mind, I can't do video capture because I don't have the equipment. Anyway, this is Zenbloke closing out this particular little section of thoughts on VR with the usual signing out. Aye, no bother.